In which country did you feel most unsafe as a tourist? P.S. Something tells me that the answers in the comments will be counterintuitive. In Egypt, a hotel employee tried to drag me into the changing room at a very fancy hotel. I screamed and hit him. The staff apologized to my father, not me. It was disgusting. Don't go to Egypt. NG. I'm Snow White. Children grope me. Adults stare. At reception, they joked about doubling the security so the blonde wouldn't get kidnapped again. Again? After these words, I felt sick. Most of the responses were from women. Women are much more likely to feel unsafe and constantly anxious. In my home country, in Tuva, I was kidnapped and taken to some barn in the mountains. At dawn, when everyone was asleep, a local girl took me away and helped me escape. In Kyrgyzstan, 4 men tried to kidnap me and drag me into a car. The men traveling with me rescued me. Girls, women, regarding Egypt and Turkey, especially far from the big cities, you have to walk around there with a bad face and don't be nice or polite to anyone, even around your man. In their culture, it's considered consent to flirting, while Eastern flirting, in our understanding, is harassment. The louder, more quarrelsome, and more bitchy you are, the safer you are. I lived in Egypt for a year and a half, and any idiot who took even a false step in my direction, even in the Cairo ghetto, ran away. Egypt. A bar employee broke into a room and tried to rape. In Egypt, the salesman locked me in the back room, but then he let me go when I started screaming. Another tried to buy me from my father for 20 camels. The doctor at the hospital said he couldn't understand how men let their women go anywhere, like, I'd lock you at home. Egypt. 5+ star hotel. I was there in 2020 with my boyfriend. A staff member came into my room at night. I woke up and he saw I wasn't alone. He immediately came out and said he'd made a mistake. I'm terrified to imagine what would have happened if I'd been alone or with a friend or sister. I'll tell you where it's completely safe. China, Hainan. In Paris, walking from the Nord train station to the Montmartre district. It was midday. I've never felt such a strong sense of an Islamist ghetto, where gangs of exclusively young radical Arab men wait to rape, kill, sell for organs, anywhere else in the world. In contrast, one of the last safest places is Budapest, even at night. Egypt. I was 12, and at a fruit store with my mom and younger brother, the salesperson walked behind me and reached under my dress, touching me. I didn't know how to react, so I quietly asked my mom to leave quickly, and I never told anyone about it. Egypt, Turkey, France, the USA. Last time, and now, a few years ago, there were no such feelings there. India, Mumbai. I feel safest in the Emirates, Switzerland, and Singapore. And in the CIS countries, it's interesting. There's no feeling that everything is safe, but for some reason there's a confidence that, if anything happens, I can definitely handle it here. Everyone told us Mumbai was unsafe, but we had no experience with any of this. No one even tried to scam us, and yes, they did push excursions, but it felt like no one cared about us. And yes, even with my weak stomach, I didn't even get food poisoning. Tashkent was the most dangerous place to live. Someone was constantly being grabbed, almost every day. The first time it happened, I was 8. People were robbed, raped, rarely successfully, and even more rarely, murdered. Almost every woman had something to do with it, including my family. An unknown Uzbek man broke my nose in the school locker room when I was 11. First he grabbed me, I started screaming, then punched me in the face with his fist, straight in the face, and my nose snapped. Luckily, the doctor fixed the bridge back into place. It was not a good idea for a woman to walk alone in the evenings. After reading the comments, where everyone mostly votes for Egypt, I realized that my positive experience may have been a stroke of luck. I came to Egypt without my husband, with a baby and my grandmother, and halfway through my vacation, my breast pump broke. It was a tragedy because my baby only drank expressed milk from a bottle. So, after asking at reception where the nearest pharmacy was, I walked there on foot along a road with no sidewalk. The surrounding area is deserted, the occasional car drives by, honking, and I, a lonely 30-year-old woman, am walking. In Cambodia, because there are few educated people there, due to Pol Pot's bloody regime, the country is on the brink. I badly burned my arm, and at the hospital they didn't know what lidocaine or any other painkiller was. They offered me morphine or paracetamol, and also a saline drip, because the burn is dehydration. They still amputate limbs there if you're bitten by a venomous snake. In Egypt, a guide from another group groped me right during a snorkeling excursion. He got right into my swimsuit. Yes, right underwater. A couple of years ago, I read a collection of horror stories about Egypt on some forum. For example, where my wife was kidnapped during a desert excursion. 3 years later, my husband received a letter saying, "I'm married, I have 2 children already, and he gave me permission to write. Don't look for me." I'll write more about Egypt. It's absolute rock bottom. I want to dive for the first time as a driver. My husband, I, and a group of tourists are on a yacht. I'm the only one with no diving experience. An Egyptian travel agent puts a belt of stones on me, you have to stand in an L shape to get it, and says with a sticky smacking sound, "What a comfortable position, huh?" I got furious, told him it was a really, really bad joke, and then filed complaints everywhere, including TripAdvisor. I thought my age protected me from such attacks. Everyone's writing about Egypt, and unfortunately, I'll write about it too. I was walking along the beach near the hotel. The hotel is like an oasis in the desert, many kilometers to the next one. The hotel grounds ended, leaving just a beautiful, deserted beach. Then 5 young Egyptians came down the hill and started asking where I was going. The hotel was far away. To the left was a hill, with their barn on it. To the right was the sea, but it was shallow, making it difficult to run or swim. Their stern Russian responses, telling me I wasn't interested and asking them to leave, helped, but it was scary. In Frankfurt, the area around the main train station and the streets are full of drug addicts. In Hamburg, the Reeperbahn area is also where people sit and shoot up openly. The best part is that everything bad that is written here is connected to such a peaceful religion as Islam. Rome, Italy. We left the train station and saw a lot of homeless people. We went into McDonald's to connect to the internet and had our bags stolen. All this happened within 30 minutes. Amsterdam, the Netherlands. It seemed like a city of weed, red lights, and permissiveness. My friend and I were left on the outskirts late at night and got lost. A crowd of guys was walking towards us, and I was already mentally imagining our photos all over the news. We both started shaking. Eventually, these guys crossed the street, ignoring us as much as possible, seeing how afraid we were of them. Egypt. I pulled up to the hotel in a taxi, took out some money to pay, and the driver snatched the largest bill from my hand. When I protested, he showed me a knife. I snatched my bill anyway, and threw the smaller one at him. He then chased me all the way to the hotel door. Thank God it was open, otherwise my friend and I would have been screwed. Russia, Moscow. In 3 days of my stay, they pestered me 5 times. Where I came from, my nationality, and their favorite phrase, "They came here." Thank God I can answer, although they asked me not to be provoked. Definitely France. It's a disaster this country has become. In Marseille, my sister and I were attacked and robbed, and a receptionist ran out of the reception area with a gun. It was clear this wasn't the first time. I feel terrible in Paris every time, too. They're always harassing me everywhere. In the Dominican Republic, especially when we were scammed on a tour, they took our money and cheated us, and we bought it on the hotel's official sales counter. I happen to have a photo of the seller. That's how we proved who exactly scammed us. The entire Coast Guard, hotel security, and police came running to us. We regretted 100 times over ever digging into it, because it was apparently a working scheme that we ruined with that one accidental photo. We were afraid we wouldn't make it to the airport alive. Egypt. We traveled from Cairo to Alexandria to Marsa Matruh to the Siwa Oasis near the Libyan border. To put it mildly, it wasn't a relaxing route. Some of the incidents involved, my boyfriend had stones thrown at him, someone pushed him out of the minibus onto the road, and they tried to take my camera a couple of times. A stranger even touched my breasts. Going out alone was a questionable experience. I often felt terrified. By comparison, in South Africa, which everyone tells so many horror stories about, I feel much safer.